Why should we be in such desperate haste to succeed, and in such desperate enterprises?
All my people. Do you know what it means to have a revolution?
It ain't their fault. They ain't been here before. It's the parents. And if you're an adult with a bad attitude, look at your mom and your dad, okay? Don't look at me. Figure out why you're bitter. Then look at them, look at the reason why your parents are bitter. Look at their parents. Look at the condition that they were in. These lectures, these workshops, these conferences are part of the conditioning so that you can understand what it is that you have to do. So when someone says all they do is have lectures and teach, it's better than sitting at home not doing anything. You have to get up, get out, and do something. You're not going to find a job sitting at the house, right? Unless you're an admin trying to do something else. But you have to have a progressive mind state. What are some of the signs that the family's in a destructive state? Big brother? Not doing nothing. My sister? What are some of the signs? Give me another sign. Lack of communication. Not having goals, not communicating, not being present, not doing anything. These are signs that we are in a destructive state. I'm going to hijack the y'all. See a little. Okay. Look at the foundation is what I say. And look at the fruit that you bear, which are your children. Because the parents are the base of all civilizations, which you talked about earlier. Here's the definition of destruction. Extinction and extermination. Are our families on the brink of extinction? Let's look at it. In the 1920s, now I want y'all to watch that brother. Watch him now. The fathers made up 90% of the household. 90 in the 20s. So, you know, like we had a discussion last night, you know, people like, man, they talked about going back the old 1900s, but a lot of brothers be like, nah, I don't want that 1900s. But guess what? Your dad was there back in the 1900s. What else was in the 1900s? Thriving businesses in your communities. Why? Because they didn't want you money. They didn't want you across that track. Right? But the Civil Rights Act opened that door and it devastated us economically and socially. Because you went and spent money with somebody who didn't want you. Right? You allowed them in your space up at the counter, but they wanted you to that back window. I need some chicken. Piece of one another. Later on. Sugar. You understand? 1960s. You see the brother? The fathers made up 80% of the household. Oh, 32% today. Now, the question is, are our families on the brink of extinction? Yeah, okay. The 20s, we was there. We started, 60s a little bit. We was in, I guess, the liberation movement, I don't know. In 2009, it's looking back. Here's the chart. But the good news is that over 800,000 households are ran by single brothers. But you see the disparity right here with the single mothers. 68%. I like to show images. Actually, I put it to say images shape our reality. Who said it? You said it? The traditional home is not the normal family. What they call traditional home. That's rare. Right there, that's rare. The extended family is part of the norm. And what I'm showing you is how someone else can define our reality. That's called power. Right? Even to take the term black. Now, if anybody walk out of here and still call themselves black after all of this, you're a fool. That's my opinion. Single parenting is the norm. Why? Because that makes up over 60% of our households in America. And I'm talking about destruction of the family. The divorce rate is 66% in our community. 44% of women, Y'all ready? Y'all never get married. When compared to other groups, we are the least likely to marry, least likely long term, most likely to have marriage and end in divorce, and most likely to see the second marriage end in divorce. There's some psychological issues going on right now. How do you know the psychological issue? If you got a brother in California, and before y'all saw the face, we knew that was a what? A European. Yeah. Go home, kill the baby, kill the wife, kill himself. And guess what he said in the note? Is there any help for a widowed son? What's up with that? Huh? What's up with that? And why you put that in the press like that? If he did do that. But what I'm saying is, the slave master has taken on the mentality, the slave has taken on the mentality of the slave master. You live in their institutions. We dress the way they dress. We eat what they eat. We talk like they talk. We only know their languages. You understand? We watch their shows. I'm at the point right now, I may watch a couple of shows, and shows I watch, they messed up. And I like that. It's entertaining me. I like Nip Tuck. I'm a Nip Tuck fan. They messed up on it. It's funny. FX, Tuesdays. I don't know what time we're going before it's Tuesday. So, we have to combat those things, taking on this psychological mentality. It's easier said than done, like most things, but this is the point that you have to realize this is something that has to be done. Restructuring of the family. We have received, without question or doubt, someone else's family's values. 50% of children and 20% of adults live below the poverty line. That's us. 40% of North American homelessness people are Moors. And we're only 12%, they say, of the nation, but we're close to half of being homeless. Some of the traditions we got to get back to. We've taken on a European value system. Who don't agree?
Me. It was our value system and it's messed up.
Well, let me tell you why I don't agree with you. Because the nuclear family is not our traditional family. And that's their traditional family. We took mother, father, auntie, uncle, cousin, all right? That's what they call the extended family. That's the family. Why? Because it's the tribe. It's the village. It's the nation. Putting your family to the old folks' home is not our way of life. That's their way of life. We kept our family in the house. Eurocentric values are not yours to claim. Give them back. Pick up a book or something. All right? 42 negative confessions. This is our value system. I need to read something for somebody who's not familiar with me. And it's okay not to be familiar. You try to be funny. All right. 42 negative confessions of what all religions are based off of. Our ancestors is based off of a society where building human beings is better than worshiping something unseen. You understand? For example, these are things that you would ask yourself. Have I done something wrong? Have you committed fornication? Have you cursed another? Have you judged hastily? Have you damaged the offerings to the gods? Have you cursed the God? Have you fouled the waters? You understand? That's just one thing. Then you can get into the 7 principles of Tahuti, or what they call hermes. When we talk about polarity, correspondence, gender, rhythm, mentalism, vibration, cause and effect. These are some of the core things. These are things that elevate us into the real human beings. This is called the structure of the family. Because we are the family, we are the blueprint in which everything is based off of. But somewhere along the line, it switched. Somewhere along the line, it switched, and we took up someone else's thing. Put it back down, and pick yours back up. And this is some of your homework right now. You can just simply write 7 principles of Tahuti and look it up. Look up Ma'at. All right, Ma'at is where the whole thing, when you get into, you look at some of the the objection which comes from her also, that person. There's no commitment to excellence. How do you know there's no commitment to excellence? Because the issue is still here.